off all these siege tanks now. Those drones really desperately trying to run for their lives. There's Wednesday Night
vVv gaming.
Pressure coming in from both sides. Perhaps 3-gate pressure with the Twilight Council into 4-gate. And
it was actually the other way around. In Time was able to veto dual site, and then Gun, as the losing team, chose Xel'Naga.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. So perhaps Gun wants to see some early engagements. And why don't you announce the starting locations as soon as everyone is up and running?
Sure thing. We will again be on MLG's Xel'Naga Caverns here. vVv Time, the winner of Game 1, spawning as the blue Protoss in the northeast position, giving the good luck, have fun, and his opponent for Team PSW, already down 1-0, is going to be PswGun, spawning as the red Protoss in the southwest position. And again, you know, PvP, you can do some early aggression, obviously one of the favored strategies, but you know, it doesn't really matter how large the map is, because again, you have those proxy pylons. But again, this sort of map, definitely one that everybody always knows about, knows all sorts of strategies. We've seen cannon rushes here before, so a lot of different strategies are open up to the players. We'll see what's going to happen.
Yeah, Time opening up with a pylon over here by the front door. And I like the positioning on this, because what it allows Time to do is it allows Time to build a gateway right here directly to the south of it. And that takes away precious location where a proxy pylon could be placed on the low ground in order to warp in units. Whenever you play in a matchup like this, you want to make sure that you kind of deny and you use the terrain to your advantage. Protoss versus Protoss, a very a fragile matchup where a lot of things can happen, as both players do have very similar strategies. If you take a look at the production tab, probes, gateways being gateways being warped in, we should be seeing an assimilator come in from both players now. As this game moves on to the mid game, I always say that the mid game in a Protoss versus Protoss mirror match happens much earlier than normal.
Yeah, and Time with a nice position there on his pylon. We saw an earlier game where he was actually cannon rushed, and that first pylon overlooks that position where a lot of times a Protoss player will sneak in a probe, place down a pylon and a forge there, and eventually sort of cannon you in from down below. So Time using his pylon placements quite well to actually defend and get some scouting information. Once again, making everything a little bit close to home. We do see both players with their gas up and running, with their cybernetics cores as well. It looks like Gun is just a few seconds ahead on his cybernetics core, and Gun choosing to come out with a early zealot, and now with his harassing probe there, actually forces a zealot from Time as well. So both players just saving up a bit of chrono boost. I imagine we'll get a few chronos on those cybernetics cores once they finish.
Yeah, it's just we'll see what exactly these players try to open up with. I would be surprised if it was a true straight out 4-gate. I might see, or I wouldn't be surprised to see stalkers with Blink trying to dance back and forth, whoever can out micro their opponent. Perhaps that is what Gun is trying to go for, as we are now getting a chrono boosted stalker and also chrono boosting that warp gate. Time getting up more probes, warping in an additional pylon. Meanwhile, back over here in Gun's base, Gun may become supply blocked for a little bit of time, and now getting some additional gateways, so he may be going for that classic 4-gate here in the Xel'Naga Caverns.
Yeah, and we'll see how many gateways Time chooses to add. Oh, wow, going for a robotics facility, so a 1-gate robotics, and we'll see if he's able to defend against the 4-gate. It's a very popular strategy. I don't think Time has gotten any scouting information at this point. The one stalker for Time now finally does see this zealot push out as well as this probe, so he knows pressure's about to come. Double pylons going down, and now Time's really going to have to get on his horse, get up some gateways of his own, as he does place down a third, and we see the first zealot going down for Gun. So we'll see whether these pylons able to finish. Time focuses down that probe, and now Gun has just these pylons finished. His warp gate tech is finishing in about 20 seconds, being chronoed out madly here. So he's going to have 4 gates, and these now 2 pylons, 1 goes down. So is Gun going to have that pylon up and alive when warp gate tech does finish?
Yeah, the key thing right now is that Time needs to chrono boost out this one immortal, and quickly. A zealot now coming out to engage, perhaps to try to go after that stalker. And now Gun, oh, the pylon goes down. Beautifully done. And Time looks like he will be able to fend off this attack, as the zealots are going to be warping in somewhere else.
Yeah, Time at 34 food versus the 25 of Gun. Gun just has these 2 stalkers across the field. Time has these zealots, and he was able to take down both of those pylons, the last one just in the nick of I can't even come up with another word. Just in the nick of time, and he basically saved himself there, defended against that 4-gate by just taking down the pylons.
Yeah, that was some of the most beautiful play, the most clutch timing ever. And now Gun, I was wondering why he wasn't warping in units right behind it. He was actually supply blocked after losing both of those pylons. So now Time has had a lot of, will have more time to warp in more units, and we'll see if Time knocks on the front door. You can see that we are getting a Twilight Council, so that Twilight Council should be completed, and then Stalker Blink now will be researched. It's going to be Blink Stalkers versus Immortals, and who will come out ahead, we'll have to watch, wait, and see.
Yeah, and it looks like Time now coming out with that Observer, so check out Time's vision. He hasn't seen anything. He basically didn't blindly counter that, but he was able to defend against the 4-gate without knowing it was coming. Now we see a Gun placing down that pylon in a forward position here behind those that high grass, so he will be able to put some blink pressure on, but Time just going to have so many Immortals. He's got 2 right now. He's got Zealots as well, and now he is getting up a Robotics Bay. So I like this transition from Time, not immediately going for the Robotics Bay, getting out those Immortals so he will be safe against Blink Stalkers, and if he is able to get up those Colossus, it could be lights out for Gun.
Yeah, Colossi versus Blink Stalkers. Not as even as a matchup as you think it would be, especially when you have more Immortals nearby. Immortals dealing 50 damage per attack. The Stalkers want to get within range. If they blink in a little bit too far, then to start taking focus fire. We can see that the Observer is inside the base, taking a look around. Stalkers now on the move from Gun. Gun perhaps just trying to test the waters and see what is out there and what he has to fight against. If you take a look at Gun really has no idea what's going on inside Time base. He had a momentary look while warping in Zealots and 1 Stalker chasing around, but that was it.
Yeah, it looks like Time might be pushing out to expand, but he's going to see this pylon and no pressure's coming. And now we see him trying to push down his ramp. He was able to get down, leading with those Immortals. And PsW Gun going to do his best to take on these forces, but the Immortals just so good against Blink Stalkers, doing, again, that bonus damage to armor as 1 Immortal focused down immediately by Gun. This is exactly what he needs to do if he needs to get back into this one. Right now, down 59 food to 69 and just lost the pylon, once again supply blocking himself.
Yeah, so Time is going to get up that Colossus right now. So 1 Colossus will be up and running. A 2nd Colossus should be coming in right behind it as we are now getting into 300 minerals once more. The Colossus, with that splash damage, oh so critical, as Stalkers tend to blink. I believe they blink closer together, and which maximizes the amount of damage that this 1 Colossus will and can do. This Nexus is about 1/3 of the way completed, so we'll see what exactly Gun will try to do here as an Observer, keeping track of these Stalkers. There are Zealots and now another Stalker coming in over here, so this 1 proxy pylon behind the brush will still allow for many reinforcements.
I think Gun's going to have 1 timing here to try to take advantage before this base gets up for Time. He was trying to poke at it a little bit there, maybe force a cancel, but Time is ready to defend. He's got a lot of lots. He's got his first Colossus out. No extended thermal lance yet, but he's got the 1 Immortal as well. Now we see an engagement as we see Gun's going to have to do great blink micro, getting in there, immediately focusing down the 1 Colossus. Another one is in the back, just coming out, and Gun doing a nice job splitting off some of his Stalkers to try to focus that down, but just so many Zealots ripping apart those Stalkers once they got in amongst the forces of Time, and now that's going to be after GG from Gun. And Time taking game 2 here, putting vVv Gaming up 2-0 in Wednesday Night Starcraft.
Yeah, that was really impressive by Time. That timing and being able to shut down that pylon. He had a 5-second window in order, and otherwise that pressure would just become overwhelming. But no, it didn't happen. The Zealots were all just lost in warp space, not quite sure where they would go, and Time able to battle back. And that 1 Immortal that was in that group, the Stalkers saw the Colossus and went, oh gosh, I need to take that out. Blinked in, tried to shoot on the Colossus, and then ended up finding another Colossus as well. And the Immortal itself had 5 kills. So that was a very large number, allowing Time to just easily take that battle.